Welcome, welcome. It is Tuesday, and that means it is time for my favorite show, The Bullpen. We come to you live every single Tuesday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, talking about sales and how we are building our billion-dollar sales team on the other side of this wall. And today, I'm going to be sharing how you are able to build, how you can build a high-converting sales pitch. Because the pitch is the vehicle that we use to convey the value to the customer. And then after that, they should want it enough that they want to buy. So we have to nail our pitch. And, I'm going to be covering a couple different things, but this is really how I think about pitching and how we actually teach it with our sales team. So I think of a dartboard like this. So you got your bullseye, you got all the rings around. Most pitches are going to be hitting around here, and around here. That's where most sales pitches land because, quite frankly, they're not very good. What we're looking for is to build a bullseye sales pitch so the arrow or the dart is going to hit bullseye every single time, and that's what's going to move somebody to take action. So if we're just using this hastily, put together pitch, and it's just not hitting with what the prospect needs, there's no way we're going to make a sale. Just no way. And a couple of weeks ago, I used the example of me walking into a gym and just getting the most horrible pitch ever. I use that example, but it happens all the time, right? Like, how many times have we gone into a store or had a conversation or gone to go buy something, and then all of a sudden the person just starts vomiting words on us that are not even relevant to us. All right, so if we're designing a pitch that's going to land, let's back up way to the start, and I'm going to walk you through that exact process. So the very first thing we need when we're designing a sales pitch that's going to sell, it's not product features, it's not objections, it's not tie downs. What we need is data on our customers. What does the market want? What is the market looking for? So the very first thing we're going to cover is data. Now, we're going to be looking for a couple specific things. Number one, what is the pain? What is the problem, the challenge the market is facing? Okay, so what's going on in the marketplace? What is the gap that we're looking to profit from in the market? But that all comes back down to pain. Our ideal customer, what kind of pain are they experiencing? So let's say, for instance, I'll use one of our products as an example. So let's take our Conference Accelerator offer. Conference Accelerator, we bring in events that want to work with us. We install the systems that we use on our conference and help them scale their event, often from 100 people to 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 people plus. That's what we do with Conference Accelerator as a product. Now, what is the pain that we solve? We solve a couple pains, right? So you want to go through and list all the pains that your avatar has. The first pain is people don't really know how to run ads and marketing for events because they've probably tried a couple ad agencies. Actually, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But so ads and marketing is an issue, right? Ticket sales, selling tickets is another issue. Profitability is another issue. Sponsorship is another. Like, there's all these issues that people have. They don't know how to find sponsors, right? They don't know how to scale. They don't have a team, all this. So what you want to do is you want to write down all the different pain points that your market has. Now, what you want to find next is the cost of not fixing that, the cost of having that problem stick around. So, for instance, if you can't sell tickets, if you're having trouble selling tickets, well, your event's going to be empty. You have empty seats. Now you have reputational damage. The event's going to suck. There's going to be no energy. Nobody's going to buy anything. Profit. Hey, our event, we're having trouble making a profit. Maybe our ticket pricing structure is upside down, all that type of stuff. Profit. Okay. Well, what is the cost of not solving that? Well, out of business, right? You're going out of business at that point because you're upside down. Sponsorship. We can't get, we're having trouble selling sponsorship. Well, that's going to come down to profit, and that's another revenue stream that your event's missing out on, right? So that sponsorship is going to be a big thing. And then ads and marketing. Well, hey, if you don't know how to market or advertise your event effectively, nobody's going to know about it and nobody's going to buy tickets. So you're going to have another empty room. So I'll just say ditto right there. So you have the pain. What's the pain your audience, the market is having? And what's the cost of not solving that? Now you want to figure out what kind of solutions is your audience, your ideal avatar, what are they trying right now? So maybe they've tried ad agencies, like I said, and I got ahead of myself. So with us, with our Scaling Our conference, we went through multiple ad agencies our first 2 years who all talked a big talk, said, oh yeah, we can sell a ton of tickets for you, and zero. Right. And, I've had some pretty heated discussions over that because they just don't understand selling tickets, like what it takes to fill an event. So we ended up bringing everything in-house for what we do. But so maybe they're trying hiring ad agencies, selling tickets. Maybe they outsource. They've outsourced selling tickets and say, hey, listen, there's somebody who says they can sell tickets for me, but they're not going to care about your event as much as you, all that type of stuff. And then, profit is an issue. What solutions? And they've tried looking for, a bean counter, maybe a controller of some sort to help them understand cash flow. Maybe they've tried finding some type of coach or some type of consultant. And then sponsorship. What have they tried? Well, maybe they've hired an outside sponsorship salesperson and then they flunked, because we've tried that too. You just want to understand, what are they trying to do to fix a problem? Now, the last thing you have to do, so you're going to do like a spreadsheet with all these different columns on it. The last column you need is goal. So, or solution, like a goal, like what do they want at the end of the road? So, hey, my problem is selling tickets. The cost, empty a room. Solution, hey, I'm trying to outsource all this type of stuff. What's my goal? A full room, right? I just want a cranking event. Sponsorship or profit. Hey, right now we're in trouble. I'm upside down, all this stuff. What's my goal? I want to be profitable. Maybe I want to give myself a paycheck at the end of whatever it is. Now, I'm using one of our products, Conference Accelerator, as an example, but this is what you want to do when you're creating a sales pitch. Why? It doesn't matter what features your product has if it doesn't actually relate to what the market's looking for. And this is what I find a lot of times is people will create these sales pitches, or they launch this product without actually understanding if the market wants it or not. And then you run into problems. When we launched our Conference Accelerator product, we did a lot of market research on it and what people were looking for and all the pain points. And we were our own ideal customer. So we went through it. So we knew what our pain points were. You have to understand the market. So before you even start writing words on a page, before you even start, drilling the script and memorizing it, you have to understand, what does the market want? What are the problems, the challenges? What are the costs of not fixing those problems? What kind of solutions are they looking for and what are they trying? And then what are the goals? If you're able to solve all that type of stuff, what type of solution, or what type of future are they looking for? That's all you're looking for. Okay. Now, to take this a step further, what you can do is you can find 10 to 20 of your ideal customers that you feel are a really good fit for your future product. Or if you're creating a new pitch for an existing product, sit down and interview 10 to 20 of your customers. Or if you haven't launched your product yet, sit down and interview 10 to 20 of your potential customers and ask them, get into their head. Obviously you want to, buy them lunch or buy them dinner, give them a gift card, show appreciation. But you spend half an hour asking them questions. Hey, what keeps you up at night? What are you most scared of? What's the hardest thing about your business? You want to know, number one, how they talk, because in your pitch, as you're creating it out, as you're building it out, you want to use the same words that your prospect's using. Because what happens? In every single industry, we've got buzzwords and jargon and all this stuff. And it just, the prospect, if they're not in that world, if they're just entering that world, they don't know. So now it's almost like me walking in and somebody speaking Mandarin. I've got no clue what they're saying. So why would we speak a different language to our prospect? It's not going to resonate. If you pitch me in Mandarin, it's not going to land. So what we have to do is we have to speak and communicate at the same level and use the same language our audience or market is using. So by doing these research interviews, you're going to learn exactly how your customers phrase things, how they think about things, what words they use, what words they don't use. So now as you're building out your pitch, you've got everything you need. Like it's all there for you. You just have to piece it together. So that's why every single successful sales pitch starts with market research. So you have to do those charts, like I said, the 4 columns. You've got pain challenge, cost of inaction, cost of not fixing that, solutions, and then goals. And then you're also going to take it a step further and do audience interviews. And like 20 minutes, half an hour per person. Don't make it onerous, but you can cover a lot of ground in 20 minutes, half an hour, and just learn how your prospect's talking, how they're thinking. Once you've done that, now we can start sitting down and figuring out, okay, well, here's our product here. Hopefully you've built it to align with what the market's looking for, but now let's dissect and extrapolate all the different features and how it ties back to a specific pain point that the prospect has. So this is what it's going to look like. So we've got all these pain points here for our audience. And then on this side here, we have features right here, all the things that our product is doing. What we want to do is we want to connect every feature to a pain point. Right? So you're going to go through and be like, hey, our product is whatever whirligig, right? And it does this and this and this and this. Amazing. Now tie it back to something that's relevant to your audience, which is the pain they're facing. Okay, so we've done that. So now we've aligned all the features with our product, all the things that you can do with the prospect's pain. Now what we have to do is we have to figure out, well, what's the benefit of your product solving whatever pain that is? What is the benefit for them? And now you're going to align it to their goals. Okay, so you're going to do pain. Now you're going to have all the prospects' goals, and now you're going to continue the line from here. You got the pain, you got the feature that's going to solve it, and now what does it do? What's the benefit? Because we always talk about when we're pitching and when we're selling, we don't just want to list a whole bunch of the features. We really want to sell the benefit, but we have to understand how the feature plays in to get that benefit. So this is why we have the feature here. We align it to pain point, and we continue that line. Okay, so we got pain point A. It's going to be solved by feature whatever. And now we have to find the true benefit and how it aligns with what the market's looking for. Because if you're giving the market a benefit it doesn't care about, well, it's not going to convert for you because the market doesn't care. So all of this stuff goes back to the audience data, the customer data, the interviews you did. So everything goes back to that. Now that we've figured out, okay, yes, your product does align with the pain points your market is facing, and then also the goals and the benefits that your market's looking for, now we can start building out your pitch. Now to do that, we're going to do a couple different things. Now, I enjoy food, as everybody knows, and so I've named this the pitch sandwich. So this is how we're going to build out a pitch, okay? Now, obviously, we've talked about discovery before, but now we're talking specific to pitching. So a pitch sandwich, when I draw my burger here, is right here. We got a double patty, and then we got the bun. Oh, actually, that's not a bad burger, Robbie. That actually looks pretty good. Okay, cool. So this is the pitch sandwich. This is how we're going to build out your pitch, okay? So we're going to take a problem, one of the main problems that your audience is facing. So maybe your audience and all the interviews and all the data collected, maybe you found that there's 6 main problems and challenges that your market is facing that they're looking for help with. Perfect. You're going to create 6 different pitch sandwiches, one for each problem. So you're going to create the problem and you're going to phrase it in a way, something like this. Hey, prospect, Mr. Prospect, remember how you said that you're facing this problem that is boom, 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 and you're going to explain that problem in the prospect's own words. Perfect. Now you're going to introduce what's called a mechanism or a unique mechanism or your IP, whatever it is, however you want to call it. This is the thing that's actually going to solve the unique thing about you and your product and your company that's actually going to solve that problem. So maybe you have a whirligig that you have, and lots of whirligigs, they break down and they don't spin in the wind anymore. And you've developed a special bearing that's going to make the whirligig spin 2 times faster. Well, that's going to be, and maybe it's called the Spin Master 2000 bearing. You're going to introduce, hey, prospect, remember how you just told me you have this problem, your whirligig bogs down, it's not spinning anymore, all that type of stuff. Well, that's exactly why we've created the Spin Master 2000 bearing, right? You're introducing the IP, the special thing that you have that's going to solve the problem. Now you're going to explain how that's actually going to solve the problem for them. So, hey, after months and months of research, we actually found that the way most whirligigs are built out is actually defective because of this and this and this. So what we've been able to do instead is design this bearing that's actually going to reduce friction by X amount of this and amounts using this new special building technique. Amazing. This is how it's going to do. How it's going to do it. And then the bottom bun for our pitch sandwich is going to be the benefit. So how we phrase that is what this means for you is. So, hey, what this means for you is you're going to be able to install your whirligig and sit there on your front porch and watch it spin for hours and hours and hours on end. It's actually guaranteed to spin for up to 800 hours before you need to clean it, whatever it is. I'm not a whirligig salesperson, but that's how you build a pitch sandwich. Because what this does is it highlights the problem. Now it introduces something unique that you have, your unique feature, unique IP, your unique service, your strategy, whatever it is. So it's unique to you. You explain how that unique mechanism is going to solve that prospect's problem. And then you're going to introduce the benefit. So what this means for you. Because oftentimes when we're pitching, and certainly I made this mistake when I started, is we forget to explain and articulate the benefit to the prospect. So we spend all this time going into the problem and like how we're special and like how we solve it, but we don't wrap up the present with a nice bow at the end, being like, hey, like what this means for you is this result or this ease of use or whatever it is. So as we're building out our pitch, if we have 6 main problems that our audience has or our customer base has, the market has, we're going to create 6 different pitch sandwiches. And what are we going to do with those? So each pitch sandwich is going to have the problem, right, that we found in our market research, the unique mechanism. So each problem should have a unique mechanism or a feature that solves it. How, and then the main benefit for the customer or the prospect. Now we take pitch sandwich number 1, put it on the shelf, and we do that 6 times. So now on our shelf or in our toolbox or in our lunchbox, even let's pretend we have a lunchbox, and I'm speaking with the prospect. I ask them a whole bunch of questions to figure out, hey, what's their main issue, all that stuff, because there's usually 6, right? But we found out there's 6 with this example marketplace. Okay, so it's probably one of the 6. So let's ask a whole bunch of questions, figure out exactly what it is so I can be clear. Now I go over to my handy dandy lunchbox. I open up and I have 6 different pitch sandwiches that I can use. But I just learned from the prospect on this side that, hey, well, they have 2 main problems. Great. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up my lunchbox. I'm going to take out pitch sandwich number 1 and pitch sandwich number 2 that handle and address those specific problems. The other pitch sandwiches, they can stay in the lunchbox. I'll eat them later. But right now with the prospect, I'm going to deploy and walk them through those 2 pitch sandwiches because it speaks directly to what the prospect needs help with, which is very different than what most amateurs do in sales, which is they have one pitch and that's all they know. And then they get pigeonholed into just saying the same words over and over again, and it's not tailored to the prospect. That was like me a couple of weeks ago when I went into that gym and I got the standard pitch and the guy knew nothing about me. It's not going to land. Or it's going to land 50 or 60 or maybe even 70% of the way there. Or, in the rings, like we're getting close to the bullseye, but we're way off. We're not hitting bullseyes. But if we use the pitch sandwich framework and we've got, 6 different sandwiches in our toolbox or our lunchbox, and no matter, we've pre-made them, we've practiced them, we know them, and depending on what problem that we can, the problem the prospect has, we just use those sandwiches, deploy them, walk them through it, and it's a customized pitch. because everything's tailored to exactly what the prospect needs. That's customer-centric service and customer-centric sales. Rather than trying to fit the customer into our process and our pitch, we make our pitch fit the prospect and the customer. We tailor and customize our presentation and our value to the customer based on what they need. That's customer-centric selling. And the pitch sandwich framework does a really, really good job at it because it's nimble. It's easy, even on the fly. So let's say you've practiced 6 pitch sandwiches and you're getting a prospect who has a really obscure, 7th type of problem for your marketplace, and you never even thought of, and you haven't even thought of it before. But as you're talking, like, oh, okay, well, this makes sense. We can actually help you with this. You can create a pitch sandwich on the fly. It happens all the time because all you need is the top bun, the bottom bun, and the 2 middle bits. So it's like, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, remember how you said you've got this problem and it's doing this and this and this, right? So top of the pitch sandwich. Well, hey, we actually have this unique mechanism, and this is why we have it, and it solves this problem. Let me explain, and you'll go through and explain how it would solve it. And then you wrap up the sandwich with the bottom bun by saying, hey, listen, what this means for you is boom, 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 boom. You're able to create pitch sandwiches on the fly because it's a simple framework. You don't have to worry about an acronym with like 7 or 10 different letters just to build out a pitch. It's easy on the fly, and it makes a whole lot of sense. So as you're listening to your prospect, if you don't have something specific, you don't have a pitch sandwich specific to that pain point, you can create one on the back of the napkin on the fly. And you're still able to communicate effectively and in a way that's going to put your value forward to the prospect. Because this is the pitch sandwich framework is designed to convey value in a very easy to understand way. Here's your problem. This is a unique way we fix it. This is how we fix it, and this is the benefit to you. Hands down, like very, very effective. Okay. So, but if we're building that high converting pitch, we have to first understand the market. Then we have to understand our product or our service and how it ties to the pain points and the benefit the market wants. And then we have to package it together in a pitch sandwich format. And it's so, so flexible. And in a pitch, oftentimes you're going to use 2 or 3 pitch sandwiches together, right? Because not most prospects just won't have one issue. So they have 2 or 3 put together. You go through the sales process. We've spoken about objections on other episodes. You have an objection, you loop back around, you've probably missed something. So now you loop back around another pitch sandwich and away you go. So that's how you create a high converting sales pitch. It starts with listening to the market, listening to the customer, listening to your prospects, understanding your product and how it relates back to what the market and your customers want. And then it's articulating it in a way that highlights the value to the prospect, so they're not confused. Because we know a confused mind says no. If it's not clear, if they have too much choice, if their head's spinning, they're not going to buy. So we have to make it very, very simple and easy to understand, but effective. Okay, so that's the pitch sandwich framework, and that is exactly how you create a high converting pitch. So on the other side of this wall, we are building our $1 billion sales team. So if you are a sales professional, if you are a killer and you want to work on my team and join our team, we are doing some fun activities this weekend. Robbie has his fingers broken, so we have to bring in a ringer to help out with the team with our Tough Mudder event. But if you are a killer and you want to start working on our team, and we've got so many different products that we sell. We got high ticket coaching consulting. We've got all the different events we run. We have a whole lot of fun. Go to careers.sethferguson.org. Send us your deets, what you're all about, a quick little video, and then we'll set up a time to chat because we are looking for really solid people, because that is how we can grow this organization and impact more people. So careers.sethferguson.org. That's it for the bowl. Oh, we got somebody here, Robbie.
Question. I kind of delete the user's name, so I'm not trying to scroll back.
Yep.
But I think it was along the line of, does this relate to whatever episode it was back then about discovery?
Yes. Oh, good question. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, Robbie, we have to get you a microphone.
Yeah.
We need, like, on like Howard Stern, how they got,
Yeah.
we need to get your microphone. Yeah. So the question is, does the content we just covered today, refer back or connect with a previous episode that we did on discovery? And the answer is 150%. So on the previous episode, we talked about discovery, how to ask the right questions of our prospect that's in front of us, so we know, what their pain points are, and we can frame a pitch appropriately. So that's discovery. 100% this applies. So once you finish discovery, you're going to ask permission to sell. Hey, like, do you mind if I share, what's coming up, or do you mind if I share some thoughts? At that point, now we start pitching, which is the pitch sandwich framework. So we got to ask a whole lot of questions up front just to have a good idea on what the prospect's issues are, their pain, all that type of stuff. And then we transition, and then we start selling and framing, hey, this is our service. And for that, we use exactly what we talked about, the pitch sandwich and the pitch that we created from the market research we did ahead of time, so we're prepared. 100%. Yeah. So we go live every single Tuesday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Really looking forward to seeing you guys next week. But check me out on Thursday this week for Event Domination. I was talking a little bit about our conference accelerator, but on Thursdays at 12 o'clock Eastern, I share all the behind the scenes, trials and tribulations, good things, bad things, about us scaling our very large conference. And it's growing even bigger for next year. So lots of cool stuff, and tune in for that. All right, so I'll see you guys on Thursday. If not, next Tuesday, 12 o'clock Eastern, for the bullpen. Have a good one.